transmission. This is my $300 Crown Victoria Grand Marquis. It's a whole bunch of stuff, man. We just flipping it and doing some stuff. Now, right now, I'm working on taking the transmission out. It's a problem. If you guys are not familiar with this, man, it's press fitted in. This goes in there and it fits in there exact. Now, right now, I am yanking out the transmission at the moment. We're almost there, kind of, right? I just got to yank the whole thing out. So that's what I'm working with at the moment. And I'm going to keep you guys up to speed with this whole thing. Now, the interior, we got it gutted out. No dash, no nothing. Welded this thing across here the other day. We're kind of looking good. I had to make this thing right here. I'm going to put a bar that goes up to there and another one on the other side, and we're looking good. Yank out the steering wheel, airbags will be out and everything. Kept the headliner in, everything is underway. So this is my T45 transmission that I picked up from my favorite junkyard for around $125. I have gotten the flywheel, the bolts, just everything, clutch bolts, pressure plate and everything. But when I took the transmission out, the whole transmission was wet. I didn't care anyway because I really needed the flywheel and the pressure plate, because once I got those two items and along with some other goodies, man, this thing was starting to move. So what I did was I started to spray this thing down now and just clean it up, because I know I have to open this thing up and it was just a mess. I mean, every time you touch this thing, it just had a lot of crud on it. It had a lot of shavings from me doing other things inside the garage. So I'm going to clean this thing up to my best ability with this Dremel, man. And this Dremel was a headache. It wasn't doing nothing. So you know what I did? I went and got the big joint, which was crazy. And you have to really be careful with this. You can go ahead and slice this thing up. So for you guys who are probably thinking, why didn't I leave the trans over there? Well, it was $100 just to open up the trans to look at it. And then he started to scare me a little bit with parts that may be on back order. So I was like, okay, I know where this is going. You can't look for the parts and the transmission will sit here for a couple of months. He said that happened to a customer. It sat for a couple of months because he doesn't have the ability to look on the internet to go look for parts. You know how this goes, man. He's old school, but he's new school, but he's old school, man. So this whole build is bonkers. The engine I'm doing is bonkers. The transmission part is bonkers. Everything just doesn't make any sense. But somehow, some way, I'm going to make this thing work. And also this clutch here now actually, you know, fits. And it's in there tight, it moves. Look at that. It looks legit, man. All right, so you guys get it, right? I really don't know what's going on with this transmission. I don't know if it pops out a gear, grinds, I don't know. So what we're really doing is just setting up for the 5-speed swap. If the transmission is bad, we get another one and slap it in. Simple as that. Oh, what? The bracket. Yeah, this little bracket here, right? We did this before, remixed it. It is ugly, but it's gonna get the job done. Each bracket that I made for these cars, each one is different. I can't even get a solid bracket that looks like something. Each one just looks different. So we're gonna do is probably paint that up better inside, because you know it needs to be painted inside, and we're just gonna get this underway, get this inside. Let's get to it. All right, so this is what it looks like in. It's ugly, man. It ain't pretty, you know, but it'll work. All right, so now what we got to do is we got to put a pilot bearing in, and we have to put a dowel for the transmission guide on the other side, because the other one is stuck in the automatic trans, and get new bolts to put in. We need longer ones for the flywheel. So that's what we got to go get. All right, so we need this dowel pin to go into that right there, right? We got that. So we're good. Now, here's the other thing. See, this here is good. This here, good. This here, as you can see, is dented. Also, let's see. See, I got screws and everything. Let's see. This. Guys can obviously see you need a longer joint. This is the one you need. This is the one that came out of the regular flex plate. This one you're going to need for your flywheel. This is it. That's what you're gonna need. So now let's go ahead and bend this back, and then I'm gonna fit the clutch on top, make sure it fits, and then the pressure plate, I should say, and then we can get things rolling. That's cool. Dowels in. That's that. Then the flywheel. There it is. I guess it's good. I just still think it's a little too light though. The pressure plate bolts, man, they said it was 24. One said 24, one said 33, one said 45. So I did like 43. So hopefully, and with Loctite, you know what I mean? So it's 43 with some Loctite. I'm gonna torque it with a different torque wrench, and then start eyeing up the what do you call it, bolts, the transmission bolts, and see what's going on. So all right, we've gotten the transmission in. I skipped a lot of scenes because of this. I can't, you know, I don't have much room, and you know, I didn't know how to really perch the camera, but this is what it looks like. It's in. So that's cool. And then here, I'm gonna see if I can get you guys to see it. All right, so this is my pedal setup: gas, brake, clutch. Obviously the clutch is a little bit lower than the brake. It's all good. Now that right there is a brake pedal from a 350Z. That's what I use for this, with a 240SS clutch, with a Mazda B200 or P2000, whatever the heck it is, 89 slave cylinder. And it works pretty daggone well. Took a lot to get it there to work, but it worked. This little part, that arm, it was too short. I had to lengthen it. What you see, that little piece in the middle, that's another strong piece of metal in the back end right here. You know what I mean? I had to do that. It's good now. All right, now we're moving on to the drive shaft, brothers. Look what we got here. Looks all good, right? Until it comes to this side right here. I welded this joint up. Now, this is a no-no. You don't do this. Make sure you do it right. I don't really care, because I know I'm going to take this drive shaft out one of these days. So I'm just working with it. Now, this is a steel civilian drive shaft. I use the same size all the way around. Basically the same as this, all the way around on a civilian. Then if you're using aluminum, you got to get the hybrid U-joint, and you guys all know about that. Now with this in your Panther, right, meaning Crown Victoria Grand Marquis body style, you're going to need a spacer with a T45. 3650 transmission, you do not. It's a little bit longer. T45 is shorter, so you're going to need this. Have a T45 in this car here. All right, so what we're going to do now is this. We're going to install this real quick and get this thing over with, brothers. All right, so we got the drive shaft in. It's one of these rare moments. It seems like we don't need a spacer. I mean, I don't have it bolt up, but it's snug on there, right? We go over here to right there, and you look, that's way more than enough room. We're just gonna roll with it. Now we have to do the exhaust, but I'm gonna make sure that's gonna be on the other video, because I still don't know what I'm doing at the moment with the exhaust. And that's what the exhaust look like when it's out. You know, simple design, man. This could be something that can be done easy with no problem, allegedly. So, man, thank you guys for watching this episode of Build Something TV, man. Hope you guys were enlightened. And if I didn't mention in the video, man, I had Lyme disease for a little bit. Man, that was a rough deal, man. I didn't know it was that bad and dangerous. So I'm better now, back out here. As soon as I got better, I went right back underneath the car and installed the transmission, which I shouldn't have done, but I ain't give a dang, man. I needed to come back out here. And then I took the fenders off of the Mustang, kind of banging them out, using the same fenders, not buying any. And, you know, just doing little by little while that car is sitting there, do those little doodads, get the doors to be able to open and close properly. And we can work things out, man. So, man, just thank you guys for bearing with me with the channel, man. God bless you and yours, man. And hey, man, just stay tight, stay right, and just keep your family tight. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Later.